You just have to go you can go to early lens to understand what the consumers challenges are.
Yeah, so once you understand the problem, one of the things that I say as problem these days is that most product owners, they are looking at the profit, the value that comes to them, not minding the satisfaction that goes to the consumer,
Hmm.
and that's the problem. But when you focus on the consumer first, what happens is that you get value.
Hmm.
You get value. So the value becomes something that comes to you in abundance because there's a solution, and that's it. And let me just share this. Sometimes when we're in meetings and there's a product, and the people in the boardrooms are actually saying something about, oh, I like it. What comes to mind is that you don't need to like it. The
Hmm.
target audience, do they like it?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
might like it in the boardroom, but if the target audience we are looking at don't like it, then it means it will not fly. Because the fact that I'm in the boardroom means that I'm on tie, I'm on suit, I'm under AC. But the product is meant to cater for somebody that is sweating under the sun.
Hmm.
If you love it, that means it caters to you, that you're comfortable. Then you should be able to cater for those that are on the street. So you can see the way it works. So when you understand them, you bring the product for them, and then you get value. The value that you get is the money that comes to your pocket. So it's a 50-50 thing. It's a win-win thing.
Hmm. So that means at the end of the day, when you are trying to solve the problem, so that is you offering the value to them. Then the value also comes back to you in a form of reward, which is the profit you
Exactly.
make from it. Now, this
Exactly.
is very beautiful, and I love the fact that you are a brand strategist yourself. You understand how these dynamics work. But looking at it, sometimes people say, "Oh, it's all interesting when you just talk about all these things. You have to recognize their challenges. You just have to put yourself in their shoes and all of that." But let us look at it, because naturally there will be some obvious gaps that exist when it comes to brand storytelling. So let's look at it. What are some of the obvious gaps or mistakes that are common to, brands when it comes to telling stories?
Yeah. So for the gaps, one of the things is that when you identify a problem and you are actually meant to provide a solution, it must be like the same solution to the problem that you've
Mm.
identified. So, for example, now somebody's come to you that, oh, I'm hungry, and you are giving them word of encouragement. The thing is, that's not the solution.
Exactly.
Word of encouragement can come afterward. You can tell them afterward about how they needed to take care of their lives. But at the point, food is important.
Mm.
So when you've identified the problem, the gaps, that okay, we are not telling the story, and storytelling is about emotion.
Mm.
Storytelling is what makes your consumer to become loyal to you.
Mm.
Storytelling is what makes them to think first about your product. If I ask you now that there's some products probably you've been using for a while, and I ask you why, you are not even giving a reason, but you're just in love,
Loyal.
loyal to them, and that is where this comes into play. So giving them the right thing at the right time, that is so the gap. So the gap is you've identified the problem, then also offer the solution, the right solution at the right time.
Hmm. That's so insightful because it's in a nutshell, it means that if at the end of the day a brand recognizes a problem
Hmm.
and they are not giving the right solution to that problem, so the gaps linger on. So there's no way
Exactly.
it can be bridged because you are not
Exactly.
offering the right solution to them.
Exactly.
So it's the way to just bridge it is you recognizing the problem, the
Hmm.
challenges,
Hmm.
then you offer or provide the right
Solution.
solution to that.
Exactly.
So beautiful. And now we'll be talking about brand storytelling, and people are just like, okay, these guys have just been saying all of these
Hmm.
things, and they are just trying to say, okay, is yeah. When you talk about brand storytelling, you know that you are trying to talk about how you can connect as a brand
Hmm.
to your consumer's emotion, how you can make your story relatable, and you ensuring that your consumers are heroes, which is beautiful.
Hmm.
But let's look at it now. This brand storytelling we are talking about, how is it related to campaigns, to marketing and advertising?
Okay. Let me just in the simple term, and I will say it this way: the story is, I will call it the foundation,
Hmm.
and the other part, which is the campaign, the advertising, the marketing, are the structure that comes on it. Or let me put it this way: the story is the center, and they pick from it. Now, it is the story that you've already crafted, the emotions about the brand that advertising, leverage on. Campaign is just like a line, but that line is coming from something, and it's coming from your story. So, for example, the shoe brand we talk about, you know, there's an energy drink that says "Embrace the Tree." Embrace the Tree is a campaign, but the brand is actually telling you a story, telling you that with this brand, you'll be able to actually face your challenges. With this brand, you'll be able to actually, probably mental alertness and all those things. That's what the brand is saying. That's the brand story. Now, the brand is not saying embrace the tree. Embrace the tree is the campaign. So you can see that the campaign is coming from the story. So for every campaign you see out there, they are actually meant to come from the story. And now, if the story is not now addressing the problem of the consumer, that means your campaign will be failed. That's in fact dead on arrival. So your advertisements now is not in the form of probably your out of home, your billboard, your digital, your below the line and all those things. They are also coming from your story. They are also coming from the brand essence. They're also coming from the brand offer and the unique selling point and all those things that we can talk about brand. So you can see that all these things are centered around the story. And that is why it's important to actually tell the right story. Because if your story is wrong, then all the other three things are going to be wrong.
If your story is wrong, every other thing will be wrong. If you have not picked anything from what we have said so far, this is very deep. So that means no matter the marketing strategies, no matter the advertisements, no matter every other thing you're trying to look at, campaigns, even workshops you are trying to do, at the end of the day, if the storytelling is wrong, you cannot achieve every other thing.
Exactly.
Now, I want to come a bit personal, and because you are a brand strategist and all that. So we've talked about the fact that, okay, the brands or the products are just a means of a guide. That means they just guide people and the consumers are heroes and all that. Let us look at it in the practical sense of it now. How do we then say truly, when it comes to brand storytelling, how do you position your brand as a guide and the consumers as hero? Because you've talked about that you have to identify, what their challenges are. For instance, this is a mug. Somebody needs to take coffee or tea. So all they are offering with such consumer is this. But at the end of the day, you've recognized, well, what if the mug itself, it's not beautiful, it's not appealing, and it's even meant to serve that purpose? But do we just, we have the product, but what other needed elements do we need to add to whatever story we are telling to ensure that, the consumers at the end of the day become the heroes?
Okay, so let's stick from this point of view. I always like to use story to at least make things interesting. We all want to go to, let's say, Abuja, for example, from Lagos. We can either use go by road or go by air. You can fly. Now, there are two brands. A transport company will say, okay, I'll give you a car. And I will say, I will take you by air, so fly. We are all going to the same place.
Yes,
but we are getting there at different time and different comforts. And safety also different. Now, one might spend 12 hours on the road. One will do like 1 hour, 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But the question is, who gets there first? And who will get there and feel like I've experienced something? Now, as a brand, being the guide and making your hero, now you've offered the solution and you're offering them, but how are you offering the solution? Are you offering them solution that at the end of the day, they still actually think and ask themselves the question of, why do I even take this solution from this brand? Because I couldn't get it at the right time. So some element makes it interesting as a brand being a guide. And I will speak from the point of the fact that brand needs to offer the solution with a good experience. And that's why some brands today, they will tell you that, people will tell you that they will pay more to get that brand. because of the
Exactly.
experience. Now, two brands offer the same. If I ask
Services.
now that there's some brands that you are loyal to now, and you will not even touch another brand. Why? Because of the services you are getting from the brand A. Now, that's what brands understand. So you are making them a robot. Aside the fact that I'm giving you this solution, how am I giving you that solution? Am I giving you like you are at my mercy, so just take it anyhow? Or am I giving it to you from a point of I see you as a king? And that's why we tell you in marketing that the consumers are the king. They are the king. So you make them king. So you don't just say that they are the king in theoretical.
Yeah.
In practical, make them the king. And that's it. So the other elements, like I said, is the comfort, the experience that comes with it, are the things that make them truly that hero. And end of the day, when they are actually now getting that solution, they are getting it in comfort. And they can come back to you 1 million times. And there's something in marketing called word of mouth. Word of mouth is what you don't pay for, that consumer becomes your advocate. How do they become your advocate? They only become advocate when they've actually tried your products, they are satisfied, they've been converted, and they've become loyal. And once they're loyal, they go out there and spread the gospel about your product. So it comes from them being the actual hero.
Wow, this is a master class, honestly speaking. I mean, I've just been, listening, internalizing everything you have been saying. And at the end of the day, we all pay for the experience. And if the experience makes us feel like kings, definitely become loyal to that brand.
100%.
But if reverse is the case, we look elsewhere.
The other brands, it's not a monopolistic brand. I will say, oh, if I don't get it, I can't get it anywhere. You move to the next place.
Wow. This is getting more interesting, but one thing, it's very important that we go on a quick break. Don't go anywhere, we will be right. Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned on the show. You are watching Mind the Gap on ConsumerHallaTV. And you know what? My guest is the ever amazing Adedotun Ajibade, the Media and Insights Manager at Right Food Limited. He has been doing justice to our topic of discussion today. We have explored the world of brand storytelling and he has said so much. In case you are just joining us, one thing, you don't miss so much. Or have they missed so much?
Well, not really. Not really.
Not really, like he said. So you still have a whole lot to unpack. I myself, I'm ready to, because this man here is loaded and has been giving us masterclass. But one thing, if you still want to enjoy all of this amazing content, you just have to do something very simple. Because we've been talking about storytelling, and we as ConsumerHallaTV, we give you very unique storytelling in terms of all our content. So you can subscribe to our channel across all our social media platforms on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. Just click on the subscribe button. You get notified of all contents that come from us, and you can also do it to share, to like, and you comment. You get to enjoy a lot. So still talking about brand storytelling, let us look at this way. We've come to an age whereby technology has really, with the advent of technology, a lot of things have happened. And now we live in a world where artificial intelligence, it's making so many people scared. And people are like, even looking at storytelling, some people or some brands actually utilize AI to tell their stories. And at what point do we then say, okay, let us use AI? But does AI even have human empathy? Does AI understand what it means to be human? So looking at that, so the question is not just only centered around AI. Let's look at how we can use technologies to advance brand storytelling.
Yeah. So I think we'll just use probably one stone to kill like several birds now. And about AI, because one of the things people already assume that AI has come to take people's job.
Exactly. People are scared.
People are scared, but they should not be.
Yeah.
Because